What's up, Turtle fans? I'm the White Foot Soldier, and this is a review of the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures from Five Below. Now, honestly, I went into Five Below because I had heard that some mega constructs were showing up there for the Series 6 of the TMNT, and then I actually stumbled across these. I passed them up, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back and get them. I was kind of in a hurry, and I was checking them out, and I'm glad I picked them up. So here we are. We're going to first kind of just have a look at what they box art looks like, and then we'll open them up and we'll compare them to the Playmates basic figures. So we'll start from left to right. We got Leonardo here, and it's just kind of the basic package design. With the four turtles up front there, the Rise logo. Now these were $5 a piece, of course, as you can see from the tag there. We turn over in the back, we get some Rise artwork on the back there too, and then just says collect them all. So right now, the four turtles are the only figures in this line so far. Now, I would like to see other characters because we'll talk about that here in a bit, but so far it's only the four. So we come down to the bottom, these are actually made by Playmates. So these are not, a knockoff or anything like that. These are actually produced by Playmates Toys. And like I said, we'll compare them to the basic figures that you can get at Walmart, Target, etc. So you'll see some of the similarities. So there's Leonardo. Here's Raphael. Same packaging design, of course, just different figure. Here's Michelangelo. And here is Donatello. So now I'm going to open these up and we'll have a look. They do come with an accessory, and we'll check out the articulation, paint, and whatnot, and then we'll do our comparisons. Okay, here are the figures out of the packages. So we'll again start from the left. And we got Leonardo, and Leo comes with one katana. Now the katana is obviously unpainted, as you can see, and it is a little bit of flexible plastic. And Leo, now when you're first looking at the figure, it's all solid plastic, and you can hear. So the plastron, it's not like the rubber material that we see on some of the other figures. The articulation is very basic. But honestly, looking at these figures, I feel like they're a better representation of the characters from the Rise show. Now, I don't particularly love the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have watched some episodes, but it's not, that's not really, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is these are more accurate and cool looking for that reason, because I'm all about, accuracy when it comes to the figures. So when you're looking at these, I think that these better represent the Rise turtles. So just checking out the articulation, we do get some in the shoulder there, and a little bit, I think, in the, well, maybe not in the hip. It's pretty tight. Yeah, I mean, it moves a little bit in the hip. It's tight, but you can kind of, there we go. You can kind of move it up and down. I don't want to bend it too much. So Leo has a little bit of trouble standing. If you kind of bend it a little bit, you can, fix it to make him stand. So just checking out the articulation again, finishing up. So you got, in the head. And now the paint. It is missing a lot of paint, but it's a $5 figure from Five Below. I mean, these are, aimed at kids. And so we're lacking a lot of the paint on, the legs and the wraps and whatnot. We do get the belt painted, so that's good. And we also get kind of the red-eared slider, paint on his face, bandana, eyes, pupils. Turn him over in the back, and we do get some nice work there as far as the shell goes. So that looks good. So we'll set Leo aside and check out Raph next. Now Raph comes with his tonfa. So he's the only figure out of the four who actually gets both of his weapons. So he gets, the two. Leonardo gets the katana so far as we looked at. Same deal with these. They're unpainted, but they're quality though. I mean, they're not super cheap to where you're just gonna snap them in half. So these are actually pretty quality tonfa. And if we're just looking at Raph, pretty stiff looking figure straight on. I think, again, this looks like Raphael from the Rise Turtles. I think this looks better than what Playmates released, you know, in the basic line. So again, same kind of basic stuff. We don't get any paint on the legs except up by the hip area. The wraps on his hands are actually unpainted. The little bandage is unpainted, but you can notice his tooth is actually painted there. So they went and painted the tooth. The belt painted again, of course. Looking from the side, we can see kind of some sculpted on spikes. And again, the same basic articulation. So you can kind of, you know, at least kind of move him to where if he's not going to stand, you can fix that. Same thing in the head. If we turn him over, we get a cool looking shell actually in the back, I think. The belt is unpainted, of course, when it wraps around. I actually didn't check that on Leo. Yeah, Leo's actually unpainted too. A little bit of plastic kind of lifting up there. That's not really a big deal. I can probably snap that right off. There's a little bit of black paint or something right there. So a little sloppiness, but that's to be expected whenever you're, you know, buying $5 cheaper figure. And again, all hard plastic, this plaster and everything, all solid plastic. They sound a little hollow too, you can kind of hear. So again, I'm sure to keep costs down. Moving on to Mikey now. He comes with one accessory, and again, unpainted, but that's okay. So we check out the front here. The Mikey has a little more paint actually than Leo and Raph do. He's got some of the plastering paint there with the pink and the blue, and then of course his belt kind of goes up around there. Now it doesn't actually come up around and wrap up, so that's kind of odd looking. It just kind of ends at the top there. Same articulation. We get the knee pads painted. We do get the fine little details, kind of like the smiley face on his knee pad, so that's cool. Nothing on the wrists. So when I say more paint, I say more paint as far as some of the detailing on the plastering goes, and then the knee pads, because obviously Leo doesn't have any on his legs. Looking at the head area, there's a little bit of kind of some plastic sticking off of his head, but face sculpt looks good. I think that Mikey looks good there. Turn him over, same thing. Good design as far as the shell goes. No paint on the back knee pads. The bandana is kind of just painted on his head there. So let's see what else. That pretty much is it. And I actually didn't show you to see if these fit. So let's do that quick, and then we'll finish off with Donatello. So yeah, so that fits. I mean, it's not, you know, the greatest looking just because of the articulation. It just kind of, you know, fits in there. So the Tonfa fit. Kind of put them in kind of like their guns. And then Leo. And his katana fits in his hand nicely too. So the weapons so far fit for the three. And now moving on to Donatello. And for me personally, Donatello looks the best. I think that head sculpt really captures the Rise look when you're looking at some of the art. Let me see if I can find the art work here. A little bit hard to see because of ripping it. But if you look at the artwork, it is like his head is almost kind of straight up, like it's not as round as, you know, some of the other turtles. So I think that that's a good look for Donnie. So looking at him too, I mean, he's pretty well painted compared to the others. I'd say he's the best painted now. So you get the knee pads, you know, are painted. It looks like his arms have pretty much everything that he could have painted. I guess on his hands there, it kind of looks like maybe they could have been like a glove or something. But that's unpainted. But the face looks good. Like I said, the head sculpt, the goggles, they don't have anything, you know, on the top as far as the goggles go, but that doesn't really matter. Same articulation. Turn them over. The shell looks really cool. I don't think that pops off. No. Nope, doesn't pop off, but it looks cool. I think that shell's neat. And again, kind of the bandana is just kind of painted on the back. It's not like rubbery. Let's see if the bow staff fits. Here's the bow staff in general too. Same material as the other ones. And it looks like it fits well. There we go. And again, you know, hard plastic, solid plastic the whole way. All right, so there are the 4 Five Below turtles from Playmates Toys. And now let's just kind of do a side-by-side comparison. I'll kind of run through this quickly. So we'll just grab Leo. And if we have Leo compared to the basic line, I think, like I said, I think he looks better. I think he looks better than the basic line. You can see obviously there's more detail in the basic line, but as far as the cartoon goes, I think he looks better. So it's not the same head sculpt. Of course, not the same really anything. So you can see kind of the backs of the shells. And if we just kind of have a look to it, the shell hog version, we can see that the plasterin's even different too. So the plastering kind of goes to a point at the end, it doesn't there. So nothing's really the same from what I can tell for Leo. So that's interesting. I like that Playmates did the unique sculpts and it's not just the same exact figure, you know, just in full plastic form. Now, something I did notice about Raph, and his head is shrunk, but it is kind of the same basic look as far as the tooth goes and whatnot. And again, I think that looks like the cartoon, this one, the Five Below figure. Of course, it's a little bit unpainted, but it looks better to me. Just kind of looking on the side, it probably would be very close to the, well, no, never mind. I was gonna say maybe it would be close because of the helmet sculpted on, but it's not, it's still smaller. And here's just his basic line. And again, just looks so much better to me. So for $5, I think that if you want accurate figures, it's the way to go. Now checking out Mikey. Again, different sculpt, different parts in general. And his shell hog figure. And finally, here's Donnie. And if we check out his basic line figure, you obviously get some of the same things, but again, I really like the Five Below figures. I think that they look better than Playmates basic line, and they're cheaper. So I guess that's a win situation. And there's the Shell Hog figure and the Five Below figure. And the final note I did want to add was kind of what I touched on at the beginning of the video. I don't know what Playmates' plans are as far as releasing other figures in the Five Below line, but I think that this would be awesome if they would continue releasing different characters in this line. I think it's a more affordable price. I think that it's geared towards, the kids. Not that $8 and $9 is too expensive, but at the same time, I personally would rather have these, and I think that parents would rather spend less. And so if we could get, some of the other characters in this line, I think that this would be the way to go. Not only that, but I think it would be awesome to get more accurate characters for the Rise line, and this is a way to do it. I think you probably get a good idea of what I think of these. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I know whether you like the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or not, I don't think that it can be denied that these are better interpretations of the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon than the Playmates figures from, the basic line. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more TMNT news and reviews.